I have chosen a typical repair video to narrate and to add to our website. This is a fuel pump replacement, and the owner has opted that I gain access to the fuel pump by cutting through the floorboard from the inside of his vehicle. I normally lower the fuel tank to gain access to a fuel pump which is located in the fuel tank, but coming up from the top, as I will show you, can save the customer up to 2 or even 3 times the amount of labor costs. As you can see, I have plotted lines where I will cut along to make an access panel to expose the fuel pump, and I'll be using a small reciprocating cutting tool. Here I have accessed the old fuel pump, as you can see, with the vapor lines, the fuel line, the fuel air line, and the electrical connections. I'm pointing to the fuel air line here just to illustrate that I did in no way pierce or touch the hosing with my cutting tool. I actually use a plastic rigid sheet material that I place between the top of the fuel tank and the bottom of the floorboard to ensure that I do not cut too far with my cutting tool. And I'm pointing out here that the manufacturer has installed a stiffener across the bottom of the floorboard to maintain the rigidity of the floorboard, and the fact that I will need to install a few stiffeners of my own as the installation progresses. Here you see the brand new fuel pump has been installed and connected. I have the fuel lines connected and the engine is running, and I am visually confirming that there are no fuel leaks. This would be impossible to do if you were to use the traditional installation method by lowering and reinstalling the fuel tank. There would be no way to visually confirm that there were no leaks. So this is a tremendous advantage over that. I am once again showing the importance of installing stiffeners, once again to maintain the rigidity of the floorboards. And here, as you can see, I have installed 2 stiffeners to the floorboards. I've used 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square tubing, and I've actually welded bolts upside down to these square tubes, and they're protruding in an upward direction. I did this out of a safety concern because in the event of a rear-end collision, it's always possible that the fuel tank could be forced upward, and if the bolts were facing in a downward direction, they could pierce the fuel tanks. So as you can see, they're facing upward, and I've tightened the nuts, and I have ground the bolts down flush with the nuts, and I've used a nice thread sealant compound to make sure that there will be no vibration that will loosen those. And I've connected these in the indentations of the floorboards so that when the carpet and the carpet padding is reinstalled, there will not be any protrusion at all. I will apply an adhesive to the stiffeners that will glue the access panel down, as you see. And I've completed the installation by choosing a foil tape that I have sealed the perimeter of the access panel with. This foil tape is strong, and it has excellent adhesive properties and will provide many years of safe and adequate sealing to ensure that there are no fuel fumes that will come into the interior of the vehicle. So the owner has a free video, as all customers will have a free video DVD outlining the complete repair of whatever it is that is repaired on your vehicle, which will provide 100% assurance that the job was done completely and thoroughly, and will give you the peace of mind that you've always sought for. So thank you for choosing Video Auto Repair.